So tonight we're making Copycat White Castle cheeseburgers, and so it's a real simple recipe. It just calls for about a pound of ground beef. 80/20 is a good one to use. All the recipes say you don't need to season it. All that you need is the dehydrated onion mixture that you're going to put on it. But I like to be a rebel, so I'm going to use a little bit of seasoning in my ground beef. You're going to need some slider rolls. So I just happen to be using this brand, the Wonder brand, but those Hawaiian rolls are really good too. But these to me taste a little more authentic to the White Castle burger. So, and then you're going to need some parchment paper. And it's a real simple recipe. Pretend that I've got some cheese here. My husband went to the store to get it, but I still need to prep the meat because you need to freeze it for about an hour. So, real simple recipe. You just take your ground beef, and we're going to just kind of press it out. If you've got a rolling pin, you can roll it. To me, this is therapeutic to kind of just smash it down. I also have one of those burger presses that I got, and but it had little waves on it, and I didn't want that. So I'm just going to do this with my bare hands. You want it to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, and it is going to shrink down some when you cook it. Let me see. You want it to be about the size of the buns here, so you can place them on top, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a little bit. So you're just gonna press this out. This is still a little bit frozen, so it's kind of hard, but let's just get this going. And I will be back for the next step. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so here's what I did, and I see that it's a couple of different colors. We used 2 different things of meat, and some of it was a little more thawed out than the other. Now, obviously, this is not a perfect square, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. For starters, you want to grab your rolls. I'm trying to do this with just one hand and kind of set it on top and make sure that it's the full length. And obviously the meat is gonna shrink a little bit, but I am just gonna go around the edges and I'm gonna clean it up. I'm just gonna cut even squares, and then I'm just gonna make this more square shaped, and then I'll take pieces and form them into these rounded corners. I'll show you here in a moment what I'll do. So I did about as good as I'm willing to do at this moment. You can see where some of it looks a little more separated because I didn't need the rolling pin as much as over in these areas. I kind of just pushed out in the corners, but I mean, you get the idea. It's kind of like making cookie dough or something when you're trying to roll it out and get it all even everywhere. So this is about as good as I'm gonna do, because I'm kind of on a time crunch here. I got to get this in the freezer and let it freeze for a good hour or so. So like I said, it doesn't call for seasonings in the original recipe. I think the dehydrated onion is gonna probably be enough, but you know, I just like a little extra something. So I'm going to go over with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of garlic salt. Smoked sea salt, I mean, not garlic salt. And then garlic and herb. Again, not critical. Just a little something something. Alright, so the next step before we put it in the freezer, I'm going to need to put my phone back on my tripod. I think I need both hands for this, so just a moment. Okay, so next step is, how many buns are there? 3, 6, there's 12 buns. So Depending on what recipes you see, some people, they bring out their measuring tape and they're all precise. I'm going to just kind of guess, and I'm going to just try to cut it into 12 even squares. And you're not going to separate it at this point. When you freeze it, it's a lot easier to separate. But right now we're just cutting the lines in here. So let me do... I got the meat to about 1/4 of an inch thick. I probably should use a better knife than this, but anyway, so you just cut the lines. And like I said, this will shrink up. And I don't know if I showed this or if I said this, but you want to put another layer of parchment paper over the meat, and then take your rolling pin and just kind of roll it into a square. So, and if you feel like you mess up and you don't do it even, like I think I just did, you can just push the seam back together and start over. Let's see, I'm totally guessing here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to close these two back up. I hate being pressed for time, but it is what it is. Okay. Might be better to use like a pizza cutter or something. Oh, I know what I could use. Just a second. I can't find it. I hate when Corey's not here because he knows where everything is and he's constantly moving things around, and I can never find them when I'm here alone. Alright, so that's gonna have to do, and then you just turn it and cut it the other way. Like I said, you're not dividing the meat at this point. You're just putting that little line in there, so when it's frozen, you can break it apart easier. Okay, yeah, using a steak knife was probably not the smartest thing I ever did. Okay, yeah, that's gonna have to do it. Now, I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I did find one of these guys here, and I was able to kind of make a more defined line. But the next thing you want to do is take a straw, a chopstick, some kind of utensil that will enable you to put, this is the really important part, you want to be able to put 5 holes in each biscuit. Not biscuit. I can't do more than one thing at the same time. And I will remove these holes here in a second because this is extremely important to the heating process, because you do not flip these burgers. You they just bake on one side, and they're so thin that they cook within a few minutes. So for whatever reason, it did not pull these out. Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm just gonna turn it a little bit harder to give me some holes in here, like that. There we go. Why is it not wanting to cooperate with me? Okay, so this part's tedious. I won't make you watch this the whole time, but you're gonna want to go to each section and put 5 holes in it. And this will be the last step before you put it in the freezer. Just a moment. Alright, so we got the holes in, and again, it's not totally even, but you get the idea. And I'm just going to put another piece of parchment over this, and then I'm going to stick it in the freezer for an hour or two. Be right back. And the girls will be having a veggie burger. We will just cut it into 4ths, so I'm going to let it thaw out. And then we'll cut it down to where it fits on some buns too. Be right back. Okay, so I'm here at the freezer checking on the meat, and I'm going to say it probably needs another hour. And if you're wondering why it kind of looks like it's got that gray tint to it, like it's pink in some areas and gray, the meat that has the gray tint is from our vacuum seal bag that we kept in the freezer. Whenever you vacuum seal something, it sucks out all the oxygen and changes the color of the meat, but it's perfectly fine. And like I said, I took 2 different portions of meat. So we've got some that was fresh and some that was frozen from the vacuum seal. So anyway, let's give this another hour, and then we're going to go dehydrate the onions. So we are going to use just the rest of what was in here, and it's a little more than half of a cup. It does say on the back that, oh, that's not the back, that's the front. Hold on. 2 tablespoons of chopped dried onion is equal to half a cup of chopped fresh onions. So I don't know how much we're going to end up making here, but I'm just going to add some water to it and let it rehydrate. We shall see. Might need to add a little more water. Alright, so wait, let's show them how much onion we made. Yeah, it kind of grew, but we're going to save some of it. So we're going to, we put a little oil on the grill. And then you just lay the onions out. I doubt very seriously we'll be using all of these onions, but that's okay because we can use the leftover when we make our fajita queso tomorrow night. And the meat is frozen.
Oh, yeah, we might use a lot of it.
Oh, we might. Oh, okay, so I didn't screw up after all. I don't know, I still don't think you need all that. So once he gets us all on here, we are going to... Oh yeah, is that going to fit? Because some people will break these up. Others will just put the whole square on there. I guess we're going to do the whole square. Okay. And as it cooks down, we'll separate it.
Oh yeah, you can't see the lines now.
Oh, because, yeah, I didn't go all the way through. Was I supposed to?
No, we'll
wing it.
Gauge it, yeah.
Like we normally do. Alright. So you're going to want to let this go. See, it's already pretty thin, so it doesn't need to cook as long as an actual... Oh, we're supposed to get the buns on.
Well, I got to cut them up.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Be right back, y'all. No, yeah, so this part's important, okay, guys? You got to put the bottom of your slider bun face down on top of the meat, and then the holes are going to send the steam up, and then you are going to put the top of the bun face down to catch the steam that the bottom bun doesn't catch. I know that doesn't make sense, but it'll all make sense when it's said and done. One of these kind of started busting open because it was just way too thin, so ignore that one. You'll let them cook about, I don't know, if they're frozen solid, maybe 6 minutes or so. They really don't take long because they're already thin and they've got the holes in them. So we shall be right back. So these ended up taking less time than we thought. They were about 5 minutes, would you say, babe? And what you do is you just start scooping them off the grill with a spatula and flipping it upside down so what was on the bottom, or what was on the top, is now on the bottom, if that makes sense. And then if you want cheese like we do, we're just kind of breaking it up into fourths. Thing about this is you got to move quickly. And we will leave the recipe down below and check back in just a second.
Yeah, it's pretty darn good. Yeah.
See, them onions looking good, looking good.
Look at that. Perfect.
That is awesome. That's exactly what a little White Castle burger looks like. Now, we've only had them frozen. Have you ever been to a White Castle,
No.
Corey? I know they have them in Tennessee, and we were there one time, but we just couldn't fit it into our schedule. And then they also have in Tennessee a Crystal burger, which I guess is their competition. So if you have either one of those, please comment below and tell me if you've been to both and which one you like the most. We'll be back for the taste test. Anything?
There you go.
Okay. Hey fam, so we are back to do the taste test, and I know that was kind of a chaotic mess. Once you're in the middle of cooking, it goes really fast. What would you do differently?
I probably wouldn't use as much onion.
I think there's no such thing as too much onion, but alright, time for the taste test. Here we go. Wait a minute, wait a minute. Cheers. Ready?
Mmm.
Mmm. That is good.
Mm-hmm.
Mmm.
Like a White Castle.
I bet this would be good on one of those Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah, it would be.
But then if you do it...
Roll.
Oh, or the pretzel rolls. Yes, we got to show them. We showed them the pretzel rolls. That would be good too, but then it's no longer a White Castle-ish burger.
If you guys get a chance, try these. The Hawaiian pretzel sliders.
Yeah, those things are the bomb.
Really
we put ham and different things on there. But these are really, really good. I will leave a better description in the comment or in the description box below of how to make these, because I know it was a hot mess today. We've had a really long day, but hope that y'all are doing well, and we will see y'all soon. Take care.